My dead uncle left me his house, but there's a clause that could destroy my family. The locksmith's drill echoed through the empty hallway as I stood outside Uncle Morris's house, clutching the deed with shaking hands. 3 months after his funeral, I was finally getting inside, and what I found would turn my world upside down. Morris had always been the family outcast. Growing up, my parents would whisper about his business troubles and change the subject whenever I asked questions. He'd show up to family gatherings drunk, rambling about people who owed him and how he'd make them pay. Then he'd disappear for months. When his lawyer called saying I'd inherited his entire estate, I was shocked. We barely knew each other. My parents seemed nervous about it, telling me to be careful and maybe just sell the place quickly. But I needed the money. My daughter's medical bills were crushing us, and my husband had just lost his job. The house was a modest 2-story in a decent neighborhood, worth maybe $300K. But as I walked through the dusty rooms, I noticed things that didn't add up. Security cameras everywhere, even inside. A reinforced basement door with 3 deadbolts. And in his bedroom closet, behind a false wall, I found a safe. Inside the safe were documents that made my blood run cold. Bank statements showing millions in cash deposits, photos of local politicians and business owners, and a thick folder labeled insurance policies. But these weren't life insurance. They were detailed records of affairs, bribes, and crimes involving some of the most powerful people in our city. The inheritance clause was buried on page 12 of the will. If I kept the house for more than 6 months, I would also inherit Morris's business obligations and associated responsibilities. The lawyer had glossed over it, saying it was just legal jargon about property taxes. Now I understood. Morris hadn't left me a house, he'd left me his blackmail empire. The first envelope arrived 2 weeks later. No return address, just a single line. Your uncle's friends are wondering if you plan to honor his arrangements. Inside was a photo of my 8-year-old daughter walking into her school. I called the lawyer immediately, but he claimed he'd never heard of any business obligations. When I pressed him, his voice got tight. Miss Chen, I suggest you focus on being a good mother. Some stones are better left unturned. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about those files, about the people Morris had trapped in his web. Part of me wanted to burn everything and pretend I'd never seen it. But another part, the part that remembered watching my uncle's confident smirk at family dinners, wondered if maybe I could use this power to finally secure my family's future. I was still debating when I heard the car doors slam outside at 2 a.m. Through the bedroom window, I saw 3 men in dark suits walking up my driveway. The leader was checking something on his phone, something that looked like a surveillance feed. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Time to discuss the family business. We're coming in. I couldn't fit the whole story here. Watch the rest down below.